Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today we're focusing our analysis on a really volatile and closely watched EV maker, NIO. And the core question submitted by one of you is pretty direct. Is NIO a good time to buy now?
We're about to get into the research, but first, just a quick reminder. If you find this valuable, please do hit subscribe, maybe like, let us know what you think in the comments, and definitely if there's a specific company you want us to look into, drop it in the comments below.
Yeah, we've pulled together quite a stack of sources here. We're looking at NIO's recent catalysts, its fundamental health, the technical picture, everything current as of late September 2025. The idea is really to cut through all the noise from the past few months and highlight what truly matters if you're thinking about investing right now.
Okay, let's unpack this then. First, we probably need to set the scene. NIO's been on this massive, almost whiplash-inducing ride lately. What exactly drove those huge swings over the summer?
Right. The last quarter was it was a real tug of war. You had optimism on one side and then concerns about execution on the other. Big swings both ways.
Okay, let's start with the negative side, the headwinds. What knocked the stock down just this past September?
So two main things hit in September. First, worries about operational efficiency cropped up again. The stock actually dropped about 6% because of delays in vehicle deliveries. That immediately made the market a bit nervous, about their supply chain, their execution.
Right, delivery consistency is key. What was the second thing?
Second, and this was maybe more significant, they raised $1.2 billion through a new share issue. Now, that capital injection is absolutely essential for their R&D, for expansion, but the immediate reaction, dilution concerns. Existing shareholders saw their piece of the pie get smaller, basically.
Yeah, dilution is always tough for investors to swallow, even if the cash is genuinely needed for growth. But okay, that's only half the picture, right? There was a huge run-up this year, too.
Absolutely. The counterpoint was really strong, especially back in August, fueled by optimism around new models, strong guidance. The stock surged. Year to date, it was up a staggering 41%.
Yeah.
And that significantly beat the broader auto tires truck sector.
41%. That is a huge number, especially given the overall market climate for autos.
Exactly. And you have to remember the context here. The whole automotive sector, according to Zacks, was ranked way down, like in the bottom 15%. Persistent margin pressures, demand worries across the industry. So for NIO to rally like that against that backdrop, it suggests real investor confidence, at least for a time, in their specific story and products.
That distinction is important, outperforming a weak sector.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move beyond the volatility then and dig into the hard data. Those recent delivery numbers look pretty fantastic on the surface. What are the core growth metrics really supporting the bulls right now?
Yeah, the growth execution is, it's the heart of the bullish case. You look at August 2025, they hit a record monthly delivery figure, 31,305 vehicles. And that's not just a record, it's a robust 55.2% jump year over year. That kind of velocity points directly to new products hitting the mark, strong consumer demand in China.
And how did that translate to the top line, the revenue?
So Q2 revenue came in at $2.65 billion. That was a solid 9.0% increase year over year. And maybe more importantly, management followed that up with really strong guidance for Q3. They're projecting deliveries between 87,000 and 91,000 vehicles. If they hit that range, you're talking about accelerating year-over-year growth. Pretty significant.
That pace sounds great, but only if it's sustainable, right? This is where I tend to push back a bit. We've seen other EV companies post record numbers, but sometimes it's fueled by heavy discounting that just kills profitability.
Mm-hmm.
Is NIO actually getting any closer to, funding itself, or are they still burning through cash?
That's the crucial question, absolutely. And the straightforward answer is yes, NIO is still loss-making. They're trailing 12 months net income. That's the loss over the last year. It's sitting at minus $3.39 billion. Earnings per share, minus $1.61. They are spending heavily, no doubt about it, on R&D, global expansion.
So how do they keep funding that loss without constantly spooking investors about running out of money? That balance sheet risk, historically, that's been their Achilles heel, hasn't it?
It has. And this is exactly where that September capital raise becomes so important. It was almost like a surgical fix for their biggest investor fear. That $1.16 billion offering, yes, it caused dilution, but it meaningfully strengthened their liquidity position. And crucially, it brought down their leverage risk. Before the raise, their debt-to-equity ratio was up at 1.89. It's quite high. This new cash means they can push forward with their plans without that immediate balance sheet pressure, without needing potentially expensive short-term debt.
Okay, so basically they took a short-term hit with the dilution, but in exchange, they removed a much
bigger, longer-term worry about just staying afloat.
Precisely. It looks like a strategic trade-off. And the market, or at least analysts, seem to have noticed. We've seen analyst consensus shifting pretty quickly towards buy. The average price target is now up around $7.40, and many reports cite this improved financial stability, this de-risking, as a key reason.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's pivot then to the competition. They've got the cash, they seem to have the delivery momentum, but how are they carving out a space against giants like Tesla, and especially their big domestic rival, BYD? Just selling cars isn't enough long-term, right? They need something unique, a real competitive moat.
Right, and their strategy seems built squarely on differentiation and also aggressive market expansion. They're not just playing in the premium sandbox anymore.
Tell me more about that expansion. What's the plan?
The launch of the ONVO brand is absolutely pivotal here. ONVO is aimed squarely at the high-volume family SUV segment. Think mass market, not just luxury. This broadens their portfolio significantly and puts ONVO in direct competition with global benchmarks, most obviously Tesla's Model Y, which really dominates that mid-tier family EV space.
Okay, so ONVO is the volume play, but what about keeping customers loyal? What's the tech or the ecosystem advantage that makes someone stick with NIO or ONVO versus just switching?
Yeah, and that's where their ecosystem really comes into play. This might be their true competitive edge long term.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to highlight the PowerSwap network, their battery swapping stations. It's a unique solution to range anxiety, battery degradation worries. It creates incredible customer stickiness. Once you're bought into that system, swapping batteries in minutes, it's hard to go back. And then you layer on top their own autonomous driving tech, which they're developing in-house, plus their expanding network of regular charging solutions. It's not just features. It's about embedding the customer into the NIO experience, makes switching much harder.
And geographically, are they still mainly China-focused or spreading out?
They're doing both. They have a very strong premium brand identity in China, which is, the world's biggest EV market. That's their fortress. But they're also making careful strategic moves into high-growth European markets. This dual focus, strong at home, expanding abroad, gives them potentially more durable competitive barriers than maybe some purely domestic Chinese players.
All right, so the fundamentals seem stronger, the strategy is becoming clearer. If the business itself is improving, you'd expect the stock chart to reflect that confidence, right? What's the price action been telling us recently? Does it confirm this narrative?
Technically, yeah. The story is one of a pretty powerful reversal and signs of accumulation. Remember, earlier in 2025, the stock hit a major low, down around $3.02. Since then, it's surged massively. It notched a 52-week high at $7.71, and importantly, that move happened on heavy volume. High volume on a big up move often suggests institutional buying, the so-called smart money stepping in.
Okay, but how do we know this isn't just, a temporary bounce? Is the uptrend looking sustainable on the charts?
Well, the trend confirmation looks pretty solid right now. NIO is trading comfortably above both its 50-day and its 200-day moving averages. For those listening who aren't deep into technicals, those are kind of the classic lines chart watchers use to gauge short-term versus long-term trend strength. Being above both is generally seen as a signal of a sustained uptrend, not just a fleeting recovery.
So what are the key price levels investors should be watching now? Where's the resistance? Where's the support?
The immediate zone to watch is that recent high, roughly between $7.71 and maybe $8. That's key resistance. A confirmed breakout above there, especially on good volume, that would likely signal a more significant, longer-term bullish shift. It would take the stock out of this sort of mid-year consolidation. Major support is way down now, back near those lows, maybe $3 to $3.50. Given the recent momentum, though, the immediate bullish trading range, assuming things like Q3 earnings hold up, is probably projected somewhere between, say, $6.50 on the low end and maybe $8.75 on the high end.
And is the broader market, like analysts and institutions, buying into this technical picture as well?
It seems so. As I mentioned, analyst consensus has shifted pretty quickly from hold towards buy just in the last couple of months. You can see evidence of institutional inflows in that heavy volume near the highs. And even retail sentiment, looking at social media platforms and forums, shows increased interest and anticipation for what's coming next.
Okay, speaking of what's next, investors always need to know the upcoming potential triggers. What specific dates or events should people mark on their calendars over the next, say, 3 months that could really move NIO's stock.
Yeah, the next quarter is definitely packed with potential catalysts. The two absolutely critical dates are the earnings reports. You've got October 4th for the Q2 2025 results that's coming up fast, and then December 5th for the Q3 2025 report. These are essential. They need to confirm those strong delivery numbers we talked about and, crucially, show progress on narrowing those EPS losses. That's what everyone will be watching.
Right, the company's own performance is key. What about broader market events that could impact the stock?
There are a couple to keep an eye on. October 15th, there might be major index or ETF rebalancing. Changes in index inclusion or weighting can sometimes cause short-term volatility or flows into or out of a stock. Then, November 18th is the deadline for institutional 13F filings. These are reports where big players, hedge funds, pension funds disclose their holdings from the previous quarter. It gives you a really good window into what the big money was doing, whether they were buying or selling NIO.
Okay. And any other data points coming up related to demand?
One more key one. October 31st usually brings updates on sales during the Golden Week holiday in China. That holiday period is a massive consumer spending event, so the sales data provides a really vital health check on underlying demand for premium EVs in their most important market.
Got it. And finally, what about the more speculative side? What kind of rumors or big ideas are floating around that add maybe a bit of extra buzz or potential upside?
Oh, there are always rumors swirling around NIO. Some persistent ones include talk of revisiting a U.S. expansion. If trade relations ever allowed for that, it would dramatically expand their potential market, obviously. There's also constant chatter about potential battery tech breakthroughs. Think major upgrades to the power swap system, or maybe even them introducing solid-state batteries ahead of schedule. That would really solidify their tech lead. And finally, you often hear market talk linking NIO with potential strategic partnerships or even buyouts, maybe from a legacy global automaker wanting their tech and China presence, or even a major tech company. Pure speculation, of course, but it's out there. So circling back to the main question, is it a good time to buy now? Where does this all leave us? Overall, the investment thesis looks, well, pretty bullish right now. We'd rate it something like an 8.5 out of 10. That's based mainly on that strong delivery execution we're seeing, the much improved financial position after that crucial capital raise, and that confirmed technical breakout from the earlier lows.
Yeah, the picture for NIO definitely seems complex, but it's significantly clearer than it was, say, 6 months ago. Those near-term moves are going to hinge almost entirely on the upcoming earnings reports and how well that new ONVO brand starts selling. But the key takeaway seems to be that they've actively tackled that big balance sheet worry, and the operational data right now looks compelling.
Exactly. Risks absolutely remain. There's always execution risk. Can they keep delivering? And there's the ongoing challenge of reaching profitability in that hyper-competitive Chinese market. But this leads to, I think, an important question for you, the listener, to really think about. NIO is pursuing this multi-brand strategy with ONVO. They're doubling down on ecosystem tech like PowerSwap. So how significant will technology leadership in that whole ecosystem, rather than just pure sales volume, be in deciding who wins the long-term global EV race? That potential for structural growth, built on tech and brand, that's what gives NIO a really compelling long-term outlook, potentially beyond just the ups and downs of this current quarter.